Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Daily Rinse. I am your host, Christopher Barth, and this is episode number 10. Today I will be reviewing a couple of manual toothbrushes. One is your standard 50 cent, 80 cent toothbrush that you'd find in a local drugstore that maybe your dentist would hand out to you in the treasure chest if they had. Actually, comment below if your dentist had a treasure chest for you as a kid. I always remembered running to the end of the hall at the end of the visit after that nasty fluoride tray that they would give me and run into the treasure chest and picking out whether it was a fun toothbrush or some kind of a floss or toy. And the other toothbrush I have is a special toothbrush that a friend gave me to try. They're both unopened, but I will also be reviewing sort of the technique again. I know I covered that in a previous episode, but I will be doing that as well. So let's jump right into it. I'll start with the standard. This would be classified as a cheap toothbrush. I always recommend to patients soft bristles, mainly because people like the feeling of the hard bristles, and if they tend to scrub too hard on their teeth, they can induce some type of gingival recession or gum recession, and that isn't necessarily what you want to happen. Here's what this guy looks like. Actually, it'd probably be easier if I opened it for you. Just your plain old toothbrush, standard toothbrush. Definitely soft bristled. So I'm going to give this a shot. It has not a very flexible, fancy handle, but it has a little grip area here with indentations and bumps on it for handling it. It's not curved like you would normally see on a kind of a different toothbrush, or sometimes they have a curve built in on the handle and it looks all fancy. This is very basic, folks, very basic. So technique-wise, if you think you push too hard, I always recommend to patients that they hold it like a pencil. You're less likely to push hard. Angle the toothbrush down towards the gum on the bottom or up towards the gum line if you're on the top. Small circles. There's many other techniques that people might recommend, but this is what I recommend. And for the sake of time, I won't be spending the full 30 seconds in each quadrant of the mouth. I'll just be briefly testing out the feeling of the toothbrush. One of the hardest areas for people to clean is on the tongue side of the lower jaw. There's always plaque buildup down there and on the front side of the lower teeth. The back side of the front lower teeth, right here, where sometimes orthodontists place lingual retainers. There's a lot of calculus and tartar plaque buildup back there. Got some on the floor there. Overall, this will do the job, obviously. It's only about 3 bristles wide on the row. So it feels thin to me when I use it on my teeth. I can use it as a toothbrush. It's not a big deal. But compared to some of the other toothbrushes that other companies make, where they have all these fancy designs in the bristles that actually sometimes feels like it's hugging onto the tooth, this does not feel like that. And you can see that. You can see it. It's just straight and it's sort of a thin row of bristles, but for the price and if you're diligent enough, this will get the job done. This little guy is from a company. Actually, the company is Nimbus. It's called Nimbus, like a cloud. And the toothbrush is called a Microfine Compact. Extra soft, so very good as far as the stiffness goes. And right away, you can already see the difference in the handle, like I was talking about earlier with the curve. And this one actually has a thicker handle for grip, and the material, like a plastic rubber material built into this for better grip as well. This one is interesting because, I don't know if you can see it, but at the tip of the bristles is a very sort of, use my shirt as the background, is a very sort of thinner, spike, pointy looking part of the bristle instead of it just being a flat top. Granted, this has toothpaste on it, but you can see how it's flat, and you can see how the Nimbus has these very fine points that stick up out of the tip of the bristle. So I think that's meant to maybe get into the gum line a little better and down into the sulcus of the surrounding the tooth. Also, the shape is a little wider, but not too much wider than the other previous toothbrush. Let's give this one a whirl. This is a little heavier, not much. And by the way, you really don't need that much toothpaste. I think I posted about this, but even that is a little too much. Pea-size amount is plenty. Give this a little bit of a whirl here. Okay, I can immediately feel a difference. It's softer on my gums and teeth, is what it feels like. It sort of hugs the tooth, but not too much where you think it's gimmicky, where some of those fancy toothbrushes come out. And also, those little fine points on the bristles, I feel like they're doing a better job of cleaning, and now it may just be me, but it feels like they're really getting in there around the gum line and around the tooth, and that's becoming very adequate, and I'm feeling it just more stimulation, if you will, and the sensation there of it being clean. It's just a nice feeling. Handy tip. Backside of the top molar, the last molar, everybody misses it. Everybody misses it. The easiest way that I found most people can get back there is to stick the brush in like this. Your cheek is very stretchy, so you can stretch your cheek and just twist the brush, or just massage it and clean it off the backside of that molar. You want to keep that part of the molar clean, since the maxillary molars typically have, the upper molars typically have 3 roots, and where the roots separate is called a furcation. And over time, if there's enough plaque buildup in an area that's ignored or not cleaned well, sometimes you can have a bone loss and an exposure to that area, and you don't want that. Anyways, this toothbrush, in my opinion, way superior to this, which I would expect this runs about $3 US on the market. But I think it would last a lot longer, it would do a better job, and you feel better after using it. And I really like the design with these bristles. They feel like the peach fuzz on your face. They feel very light, but they're working. You can tell they're working in your mouth when you use this. So Nimbus, 50-cent off-label type of a toothbrush. Both will get the job done. This one feels better. Obviously, it's more expensive and it's not electric, but I really think if you can do an adequate job on brushing, you don't need an electric brush. So that's all I've got for today. If you folks have any questions or comments, you can always email me at thedailyrinteshow@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook even. My username is doc_gums. And until next time, I hope you guys stay clean. All right, thanks.